Blueberries are both tasty and nutritious. They can be grown in the garden in an area that is well worked and in full sun, but they are a little different from other garden plants in that they require more acidic conditions. In that way, they're more similar to azaleas and rhododendrons. So they can either be grown in a garden in an area that's specially prepared for them, or they can be grown together in an area with azaleas and rhododendrons. Because blueberry plants do need an acidic soil, you'll want to do a soil test about a year ahead of time. The soil test will give you a recommendation for what you need to do to acidify your soil. Usually this is done using pelletized sulfur. This is sold in garden centers as usually garden sulfur. So you just want to sprinkle this over the area at the rate recommended according to your soil test report. Blueberries require a good-sized planting hole. They also like a lot of organic matter. So when you are replacing soil in the planting hole, you'll want to replace it with a mixture that is about half soil and about half peat. Peat is a very good material. You'll want to make sure that you wet it ahead of time, otherwise it will be difficult to wet later on. So you'll wet the peat, take some soil out of your planting hole, and mix it so that the soil you're going to replace is going to be about half peat and about half soil. Sometimes blueberry plants are shipped from the nursery as bare-rooted plants. In that case, they need to be soaked in a bucket of water for about a half an hour. This particular plant was shipped with a lot of media on the roots, so it's ready to go right into the planting hole. We're going to put it in, and when you plant it, you want to make sure that it is planted so that it's about the same depth as it was when it was in the nursery. Then we're going to go ahead and fill in around that plant with the prepared mixture of soil and peat moss. And then, after we get it in, we want to check the depth and cover it up and make sure that it is firmed in. After planting, you'll want to water the plant well. You'll also want to prune some of the branches off so that you only have about 50 to 60% of the original growth that the plant was shipped at remaining. This is in order to keep the amount of roots that are on the plant in balance with the amount of growth that is on the top, and this will keep from stressing the plant out. You'll also want to remove any flower blossoms that the plant produces during the first 2 years. You'll want to mulch your plant with about a 3 to 4 inch deep layer of an organic mulch, such as bark chips or sawdust. This will do a number of things. One is that it will help to conserve moisture around the plant, because blueberry plants do tend to have their roots relatively close to the soil surface. A well-taken care of blueberry plant will live for 50 years or more. This will give you a lot of years of blueberry pancakes and blueberry muffins.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.